Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. If you are new here, my name is Ashley. I am a life coach, and my ultimate goal is to help you become the best version of yourself. So, if this channel resonates with you, if this video resonates with you, please like, share. That is how the channel continues to grow and we can help more and more people. So, today I want to talk about our kids and how we can help them individually, um, and help their soul. So what's very interesting is, our kids, like we as parents can learn so much from our kids. They are our greatest teachers. And I think that a lot of times within society that gets looked over based on society's needs and norms and all the things, and our kids are put into this system where they are forced to be put in a box. And if they are doing things outside the box and there's something wrong with them, or they need to be corrected, or there is, they're going to have developmental issues, or if they don't do this by a certain age, then that means that there's a problem. And all of these things and these, illusionary constructs that are put on us and our children as parents and kids, to meet certain qualifications and needs gets in the way of what actually nurturing our kids' soul looks like. So, for us as an example, like, my kids, one is 6 and one is about to be 2 next week. And for them, it's really important. I've learned this through them to be able to understand, number one, where they're coming from and their perspective of things, but also follow their lead. So we're an unschooling family. We do Montessori as well. And that is what our whole parenting aspect and just growth is based on in our house. And it can be very, um, I don't want to say difficult, but it can be a challenge to kind of think differently whenever you have been brought up in a certain system. And especially as parents, maybe some parents have moms especially can feel a lot of like mom guilt and comparison to other moms and their kids and what their kids are doing and what their moms, that mom's doing, and all of the things. And there's just so much messiness in there and unnecessary, you know, almost pain, because you can be very challenging to navigate that, right? So in this unschooling Montessori world that we live in, it's very different. There's a lot of soul nurturing going on for our children, and some ways that we do that are just simple things, such as listening to what our kids are ready for and what they want to do, and expanding on them. So as unschooling parents, we are not teachers; we are the facilitators. And as Montessori, we are here to equip them with life skills on their level so that they can, meet those. And that looks like, having their own kitchen, having their own set of kitchen equipment, having their own, section in the bathroom where they can, have a self-care routine, having them be able to dress themselves. That's just certain things. And of course, it evolves as they get older. But this is all important to nurturing their soul and listening to what they are ready for. So just because your kid doesn't read by the age of 6 doesn't mean that they're a failure, that there is not something wrong with them. And I think that whenever they are in that indoctrinated system that is currently in place, it's easy to fall into that and to be like, well, what's wrong with my kid because he's not doing this by this age and all the things. And I've gotten so many questions about that. Well, what if he never wants to learn this, or whatever? And here's the thing: whenever we are nurturing our kids' souls, the number one thing we have to remember as parents is that we have to trust not only ourselves, but our kids and our abilities to facilitate an environment that allows them to be curious, that allows them to ask questions and to want to learn things. That's the whole point of this. Whenever you are a facilitator and you are providing an environment. And I don't mean that you have to go out and you have to spend thousands of dollars to create a home worth of learning. And that's not it at all. But just allowing your children to seek out what they want, whether it be in your house, in the world, maybe you go places, maybe you go to a museum, whatever it may be, allowing them to seek out what they want to learn about and then helping them expand on it. That's all, let them lead the way. Our kids are so intuitive, and a lot of times we forget that. But within the last about like 20 years, the children that have incarnated on Earth um, have been they've been here for a reason. Number one is to help heal the planet, which is happening right now, and to assist us in becoming more loving, more caring, and showing us what the meaning of life is and following our soul's purpose. Our kids didn't come here like many of us did to, maybe heal ourselves, to heal, to go through things and to become this um, the best version of ourselves. They kind of showed up here that way. They showed up here that way to assist within the coming years. They came here as the way showers of the future, the brilliant souls that they are, just to assist humanity in a completely different way, which is amazing. Um, and by putting them in this box and in this system that is currently available, is completely going backwards because it's not serving our children. It's never served our children, but it's definitely not serving them anymore. And what our kids need is us to be able to facilitate an environment for them to allow them to unfold on their life purpose and their soul's mission and all of the things. So, um, our son Carter, he's 6. He's always been a what I like to call a philanthropist or I can't say that word. He's very philanthropic. Um, and he wants to help humans. He wants to help kids. He wants to do all these things. And I didn't fully understand where that was all coming from at first. But as I listened to him, as I, kind of researched myself, just through spiritual aspects of things, it all made sense and it all came together. So, assisting him is very important with his mission. He knows he's very clear as to what he wants to do. And of course, that may evolve and change as he gets older. But it's very interesting that he is very clear and he has not wavered on that within years. He has not wavered on what he wants to do with his life, and how he wants to help people. He wants to help people with a sense of food. He wants to be able to have his own diner. He wants to be able to give people that need food. He wants to be able to stay open till 2 a.m. so that if people are hungry and they don't have food at home, they can come and get food from him. And that's those are his words. So it's really interesting to listen to that and not negate anything, not step in and say, well, that's not going to happen. That's not possible. You can't do that. Which a lot of parents do in a sense of protectiveness. They want to protect them from and make them understand the real world and all these things. But what they don't understand, and what a lot of parents don't understand right now, is that a new world is being created, and it's a direct effect because of our children. So as this new world is created, we have to allow them to create it, not bring them back to what we currently call reality. Okay. Because whenever we focus on what currently is, we don't get anything more. We can't evolve, we can't change the world. And our children are here to change the world, they're here to change us. And by them being here and nourishing their own soul and what they are meant to do, and not putting them in a box and in an indoctrination program, and trusting them, we can change the world. They will change the world on their own. And in turn, it changes us and we assist them in that process. And I can tell you that from choosing to go outside of the indoctrination system and go our own way, I have gotten so many interesting comments about how advanced he is. And I don't know, I don't have anything to compare it to, right? I'm not comparing my children. But what's interesting though is that I know, and I'm in a place where I trust my child, and he is always curious, always wanting to learn. Learning is not, there's no limits to it. I don't limit it to, between 8 and 3 every day. I don't limit it to a certain subject, a certain topic, and all the things. You know, everything blends together. Whenever we're in the kitchen and we're cooking, you have science, you have math, you have literature, you have all the things, and there's not like, we have to learn this and this and this. It's all blended together as an experience. And whenever kids experience things, they pick up things better, they absorb it better. Because number one, they're curious. Number two, they're excited about it. They want to know more, and they're going to ask more questions whenever it's not being forced on them. You're creating natural learners whenever, you're in this environment, which is amazing. So that's a little bit about what we do in our home. And I'm going to be expanding on that a little bit more because I've gotten so many questions about it from so many moms. And I know that, as we shift into this new world and new earth, our education system is completely changing. And whenever it changes, there's going to be a lot of potentially confusion because in reality, there was never a need for this, school concept of you need to go somewhere to learn. The most learning happens within your walls of your home and within the world itself, without textbooks. So trusting yourself to be a facilitator is one of the best things that you can do. But our kids are, it's amazing to watch them expand and grow and evolve and advance on their own, at rapid paces whenever they have the ability and the environment to do so. So nourishing their souls is the best thing that you can do for your kids at any age and anytime. And understanding that, it's kind of weird to think about, but they came here for their purpose. Our kids don't necessarily belong to us. We can't control what they're going to do. We can only guide them, because obviously oftentimes, I'm sure everyone knows of an experience, or maybe you have experienced this whenever, your parents try to control what you do, you kind of go the complete opposite way, right? And you kind of rebel maybe. And it's interesting because, a lot of times parents do this out of, again, protectiveness, out of the goodness of their heart. And sometimes they don't. Sometimes they just truly can't handle themselves, and they're so out of control within themselves that they want to control everything around them, including their children. And that's my husband's parents. That's exactly what they have done to him for years. Until he finally walked away, and it backfired, right? Because whenever, people are so out of control within themselves, they feel like in order to feel better, they want to control everything around them. They want to control the world, right? And tell everyone else what to do except for themselves. So it's interesting, to experience that and to have that and to recognize it, so that you don't repeat that cycle within your children. And this is all about just, as you help your kid's soul and, you nourish it, you're also nourishing your own. So this is all about growth together and evolving together and becoming closer as a family. And that's so important into creating that type of bond and that type of environment, for your family to thrive in. And of course, it doesn't mean that everything is perfect all the time. It doesn't mean that there is never any mistakes or that nothing ever goes wrong. It doesn't mean any of that. It just means that you are consciously aware of what you are, number one, mentally feeding your children, two, physically, obviously, because that affects things as well. But what type of environment you guys are living in, and what type of future you are creating, and what type of, opportunities within your home you're creating for your family, and just allowing your kids to follow their purpose. and to just kind of hang back and observe them and learn from them and be there when they, when they're ready, when they say, "Hey, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to read novels, I want to do all the things," and which they will, and they're going to come to you and they're going to ask you for help. So that is one of the biggest reasons why we are, an unschooling Montessori family, is because it nourishes the soul. It allows parents to nourish your kid's soul, um, and feed them what they need, not what society wants them, not what some random person decided that they want your kid to learn about. Okay. Whatever they are most interested in, when they're interested in a topic, they're going to go all out. And it might last weeks, it might last months. You never know, right? But when they're ready to do something and when they're ready to learn something, they are going to go all in. And right now, Carter is, he still wants to help people with food. He wants to create, have his own diner, which, by the way, is only going to cost him $30. He told me a couple weeks ago. So it's interesting, and I didn't negate that. I said, okay. So now we are on the path of he is creating his own cooking videos. And he's learning through that. He is learning through all of the things of measurements and reading the cookbook and all the things like that in science and why certain ingredients react to each other. It's amazing. Um, and he's 6 and he is full on committed to doing these cooking videos. So it's really amazing to watch. And so it is our job as facilitators, whatever your kid may be interested in, to just provide the means for them to expand and grow and create their dreams, their goals, their desires. Okay. So I hope that that was helpful. Let me know if that resonated with you. Let me know if maybe you're feeling that as well, or if you need more assistance in that area, or if you want more topics like this or expand on this, whatever. Let me know. I'm here to to kind of just shine my light and show you guys what we're doing in our home and what may help other people. So I will be back later this week. Thank you guys for letting me hang out with you. And again, if this resonates with you, please feel free. Please feel free to like and share, and subscribe to the channel because we're going to be doing a lot more content. All right, guys, I will talk to you guys later.